Honestly, Diddy for prison 2024. When this whole thing first happened with Cassie back in November, I remember it actually. I was in line at the dollar store and I was waiting, and I opened my phone on Instagram and it was right there, and I literally was like, physical reaction to the accusations. Now, I wasn't really actually surprised, like, oh my God, who thinks Diddy could do something like that? I was more surprised that she went through with doing that, because people had their own assumptions about what went on between them, and people said Diddy didn't want to marry her, Diddy didn't want to give her a baby, that's why she ended up with her husband now. That whole explanation, something about that just never sat right with me. So a lot of people were saying, it was a matter of what she really wanted from him, that he just could never give her fairy tale that she wanted. And it turns out that he's an abusive, psychotic demon the whole time that she couldn't get away from fast enough, honestly. Now that this has come about again, I just have a lot of questions, honestly. More questions than anything. Like, at this point when I'm making this video, the video of her getting beat down by him has dropped. Her lawyer responded. Apology video came out this morning. And so watching that apology, I just, like, when I see stuff like this, like, honestly what I did was I looked directly into his eyes. Like, I got really close to the phone and I just studied his eyes, how they moved and everything. He does seem embarrassed. I don't think he's apologetic. When looking into his eyes, I saw absolutely nothing. It was cold, it was empty, it was void. His eyes just were lifeless and held nothing. Like, if there was a human being inside of Sean Combs, the human being died a long time ago. Or if there is a human still inside there, it's like in the 7th Harry Potter movie when Voldemort had like one last Horcrux left, and they showed what he looked like, and he was just like a little shriveled up bag of bones, just like laying on the ground, just like, ugh. That's who he is inside. I just really am just confused, and I have a lot of questions. A lot of comments I saw were I agree with, saying, you're not really sorry, you're just sorry that you got caught. A lot of comments were calling to all the people who said that she was lying, that she was just there for a cash grab. And honestly, I feel like that video was light work, probably compared to what he was doing, really, more often behind the scenes, all the time. That doesn't even depict the freak off. That video is just like the tip of the iceberg. A lot of the people who were saying that she made it up, quiet, of course. People saying, men mostly, well, what did she do before the video started? What did she do? The fact that CNN dropped this video, it wasn't leaked, it was given. It was given. I believe it's a warning for what? Questions. Again, questions. And so I believe that this video is a preamble unto what is coming next. I believe that federal charges are coming down the pipeline for that ass. And they dropped this video because they want us to sit slow. One of the YouTubers I follow, Jussie Woo, she was saying that she thinks that video dropped because he didn't pay some money that he was supposed to pay. I have no idea. This is just theories. I have no insider information. I'm not saying that this is a fact. This is just me sitting in my car yapping my gums, pretty much. So I just finished season 4 of True Detective, and they had an interesting concept in the season about asking the right questions. The main cop in the movie, she was with a rookie cop, and she was teaching him on like how to look at things, how to investigate things. Like, and he would ask a question, she's like, no, that's not the right question, that's not the right question, ask a different question. And he would find the right question that needed to be asking. We need to be asking the right questions here. We know that he's been an abusive gremlin since the beginning. There's been speculations about him being involved in Biggie's death since 1997. Tupac's death since 1996, okay? Oh, almost 30 years worth of allegations and rumors and suspicion and all this kind of stuff. We know that he's slapped Drake. We know that he abused Cassie. We know he abused Kim Porter. We know that he got Shine locked up. We know all these things, going down the list, right? We know that he has, wild sex parties, which live and let live. As long as everybody is consent of legal age and not under duress or influence and fully awake and lucid, live and let live. But from what I'm understanding, that was not always the case. What I want to know is, why was this man able to do all this shit for so long and get away with it? Person after person, all the groups that he screwed over financially, all of the women that he's abused, all of the men that he's abused, all the people he's taken advantage of, all the people he's stolen from on paper, allegedly. Why was he able to get away with this for so long? I know that having a lot of money makes you very powerful. Was he making his millions from all of his shady music deals, or was it from something else? That's the big question that I have. Where is his money's coming from that he's able to evade a justice and punishment for so long? That rumor that he slapped Drake, right? It was like you're not gonna disrespect me, and he punched him, slapped him, something like that. There's a lot of people in the industry say that it 100% happened, but allegedly, and it was all over a song or something like that. It just reminds me of like in those mob movies when like a wise guy or somebody did something wrong and they got slapped in the face very disrespectfully by the boss, by the mob boss or whoever. I don't know, like something about him just gives that vibe. It gives that there's something else going on here. Why was he able just to basically run amok around the earth, doing whatever he wanted to whoever he wanted, whenever he wanted? We have to start asking the right questions here. When I do think about these things, like the concepts of like right and wrong, left and right. Amongst rich people, they have different morals, they have different goals, because they are people too. Walk with me here. I'm gonna go off on a limb, but capitalism, socialism, communism, all they are ideas. When you break it down to what they truly are, ideas. In China, their ideas is that communism is the best. That's how we should live life. That's the only right way to live life, is by communism. In America, they believe that capitalism is the only way to live life, and that's the only way to be. Ideas. Rich men in America have ideas. Rich men in China have ideas. Now, let's move it over to Hollywood, or let's just say America. Rich men like Diddy have ideas of what life should be. Should be able to have sex with 100 different people in one time if you want, drink whatever you want, real hedonistic. You have the power, you have the money, you should be able to do whatever you want. Now, on the other side, there's powerful men in different ways. For example, the chief of police, the head of the CIA, the head guy of the Department of Homeland Security. They have a different way of looking at life. It's like we have the bad men and good men, so to speak. Let's just break it down into simple terms. Diddy is a bad man, and let's say the chief at the FBI is a good man. So these two very powerful men, this man over here has to keep this one in check, keep the bad man in check. And so what happened? What did they have to go through for the good man to finally get the bad man in check? Because usually the good man, they can also be told to leave the bad man alone by getting paid to leave him alone. And politics and red tape and conflicts of interest, and you can't do that because we got to do this. What happened that they said, all right, your time is done. Your time is done. It's like when you make a deal with the devil, right? It's like, I'll make you the most famous, richest man on earth for 30 years. After 30 years, I'm coming to collect. Would people accept it? Sorry, y'all. I had some stuff I had to do in the middle. I always like to try and find some hidden meaning or look deeper into stuff, but some about it's just not right. And I just feel like overall we're not asking the right questions here. This ties into the whole block out 2024 thing about a lot of people are fed up with celebrities. They're fed up with celebrities like Diddy and others that have the ability to wreak havoc on the earth, to run amok the earth, do whatever they want. Meanwhile, the rest of us are slaves to the system, slaves to corporations. We are thrown around like pawns on a chessboard, like we're disposable. Nobody cares about us. Nobody cares when we get beaten, that we can't afford stuff. The artists that came from the streets, no one cared about them when they got effed financially by him. Nobody cared. But people like Diddy, all his alleged crimes, and he's just able to do whatever. Why is that? I mean, it's been proven that black men are, I'll just say, sometimes punished harsher for the same exact crimes that a white person commits. But that's not the case with Diddy. He's committed all sorts of crimes, but yet he still can do whatever he wants. OJ got away with murder, with killing his wife. Everybody knows he did that shit. And he was able to get away with it. I mean, obviously he's wealthy. He was wealthy enough to buy a, flawless legal team. But Diddy has done so much to so many people. As other people have said, no one has come out defending him. No one has said, oh, he's just such a great guy. There's no way he would ever do this. No one has come out and said that. Also, no one has come out and denounced him either. Most of the people that have denounced him are like social media celebrities. Also, too, his apology, there's something weird that happens. Like, when he talks about God, and he's like, the whole time he's looking at the camera as he's giving the apology, and he's like, when he starts talking about God, he looks off. And he gets that darkness comes over him again. This is going to sound like I'm a conspiracy nut. But he's looking in the video, and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, gotta look at, I'm sorry for all the things I've done. And I have to ask God for forgiveness.
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
Now, if I was super conspiracy, I would say, what God is he talking to? I don't know. It seemed like a dog whistle or something. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. There's this video of Cassie talking with this, I forget what his name. He was like a fashion icon type of guy on a red carpet years ago. The guy reaches out to give Cassie a handshake, and Cassie takes his hand, and Diddy looks at her like,
what a beautiful dress.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you, can't wait to see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
What a beautiful dress.
Thank you so much.
What a beautiful dress.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you, dress.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you, dress.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you, can't wait to see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
he got super distressed. I just recognized that look. He had the same look when he looked off. Just cold, heartless, lifeless, soulless nothingness. I totally forgot this story that one of my previous clients told me about Diddy. This was around back in 2016. He was at the nightclub One Oak, which was very popular around that time period, like 2014, 2016. It was one of those high-end clubs where everybody has to wear heels and bottle service and all that. He was at either Summer Jam or some kind of big after party in New York where there's like a ton of celebrities, and he said that he saw Diddy there in Diddy section. And I too have seen Diddy at one of these clubs. I think it was Finale that I saw him at one year around the same time period. But he said that Diddy was there and Cassie was there, and that Diddy had another woman sitting on his lap who he was caressing and rubbing, kissing up on and rubbing all over her whole body, and Cassie was just like sitting right there, like sitting maybe a couple people away, and she was just very like he said, she was just kind of like, she's not even paying attention, not really looking at them. And like this was during this same time period that they were dating and like public and stuff. I just literally just remembered this story, but it just goes to show that like this man definitely did not respect her. He could do whatever he wanted, but she had to be under his complete control and do anything and everything he said, and she had to be okay with whatever he wanted to do. That reminds me of that clip of Diddy on The Breakfast Club talking about when you're in a relationship with him, 70% of the time you're gonna live the life of your dreams and have everything that you ever wanted, but the other 30% of the time you're gonna be like, oh, this guy's an asshole, he's horrible, I hate him. Obviously, while relationships are never perfect, it shouldn't be 0 or 100. You know, what more can a person say? Like, he's cooked, he's done. I don't like the fact that he still has so many followers. Like, why are people still following him? I think in this era of brokenness and jobs not paying enough, people like Diddy and the rest of him and the rest of the celebrity people, you know, the Met Gala, all these people, like, guys, we have to take this shit down. And of course there's more powerful people behind all of this, but they are the face. You know, some people say, like myself, that the president is a puppet for the people who are really pulling the strings behind the scenes. How do we get to behind the curtain? We have to start getting through these people who are standing on the stage. Ooh, that's a good metaphor right there. All these celebrities on the stage, we gotta peck them off one by one to get to see who's really behind the curtain, okay? This whole thing with Diddy, I want people to check and see, was there any crazy laws passed this weekend? We know we need to check for that. But yeah, we need to shut this whole thing down. I know this video's been all over because it's just there's just so many things that's interconnected. Why are we letting them do these things? And especially on black blogs. Black blogs are like, oh my god. Black blogs are a part of the problem, but I had a video I wanted to make on that, but I wouldn't even know where to start. I'll figure it out maybe. Because when you read the comments, oh my god. There's so much toxicity, ignorance, primitive thinking. Diddy or whoever, like Boosie, people like Boosie too is another like disgusting human being who has facilitated R on his own children, a R apologist who is an apologist. He's just such a disgusting, toxic piece of garbage. All he has to do is make a funny video saying something that's true and like saying it in a funny way, and people are like, oh, I love him, he's great. This guy facilitated R on his own child in order to get the gay out of him. Are you for real? All he has to do is say something funny. Diddy dress up like the Joker. Oh, Diddy, he's so good. Oh man, he's so great. He's so talented. He's a genius. He's this, he's that. Do we forget what he did to Shine? Do we forget what he did to Tupac? Do we forget what he did to Cassie, to Kim, allegedly to Mace, to the band, to Danity Kane? Now there's so many creators. You can pick the kind of people that you want to support and follow. Shame and guilt exist for a reason in communities and societies amongst humans. We need to bring back shame and guilt. Just because you have money does not mean you can treat people however the fuck you want. These people have they've gotten too big for their britches. Like I said with Drake too, he's too big. You've gotten too big. The movie studios, I always say, they've gotten too big that they just treat people however they want. You got to come back down. We got to snatch you down. Well, that's what we have to do with these people. We have to snatch them back down. This man apologized because he got caught, not because he's actually sorry. And he lied. He apologized to Cassie for what he did and apologized to everyone else for lying. Apologized to Cassie too about lying. TD Jakes, in his little sermon, you know, if you're bipolar, if you got issues, which is interesting that he said bipolar. I don't know if like Diddy is claiming to be bipolar, but like, how is it that like all of these up celebrities end up being bipolar? Like something's not adding up. Like it's not that common that literally all of y'all have the same psychosis. Like, all right, anyway, there needs to be a conversation about that, about mental health lingo abuse, okay? But he basically said if you're bipolar, if you hurt people, if you have urges that you can't control, if when you come home your children and your wife tremble and with fear, then you need to go get some help, dude. This is not a women good, men bad, okay? This is not that. But women have been saying for years now, you guys need to talk to each other. You need to speak out about violence against women. Like, why did it take this to happen for TD Jakes to say something like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't watch all his sermons, so maybe he might have, but the people who watch him regularly were talking about this like this was the first time they ever seen him say something like that. Like, why are not all pastors saying stuff like this? Like, if you are with a woman who makes you feel like you got to put your hands on her, leave her. If a woman tells you to leave her alone, leave her alone. These powerful men who have so many eyeballs on them, so many faces on them, could truly make change in this world. And they say nothing. Like, there are campaigns for women to learn how to protect yourselves, learn how to, like, self-defense, just different things to help women learn how to do things. There was an organization that was like Women in the Water, something like showing women how to swim in the water, whatever. Showing women in tech. Why is this stuff? Why is there not a big organization that's like stopping men from violence against women and other men too? And Diddy didn't just assault women. He's beat men and women. And let's say he's not sexist about that. He's an equal opportunity beat downer. Okay? He will beat your ass. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Why are there not bigger campaigns about this? Like, if you talk about teaching boys consent, like, let's say on Twitter's accessible, but you talk about that on Twitter, you talk about that on Instagram. Oh, well, why are you making it seem like all men are rapists? Oh, well, why are you making it seem this? Why are you making it? Oh, this is some woke ass bullshit. It's not enough just to say that it's bad. You have to tell people that don't do these things. Like, back to the Bumble thing. Like, and I'm going to make a full video about this because I have a lot of profiles, men's profiles that I've been saving and collecting from myself and my friends and stuff. On many occasions, I have gotten messages threatening violence against me for not responding, threatening SA against me. Like, it might say that I'm online and I didn't respond back. So now it's you're a bitch. If I ever see you in person, I'm going to. Like, did those guys ever have a father in their life sit down and talk to them about, like, hey, man, like, reading comprehension, listening comprehension, okay? Let's use our brains. This is not about perfection. But there is so much ignoring of horrible, horrible behavior. How many people knew Diddy did that and still fucked around with him? Still was his boy, still his friend, still following him, still doing business with him. Like, there should be a national campaign started by a man, headlined by a man, about violence. Why does that not exist? Domestic Violence Awareness Month should be headlined by a man. So this is not like any kind of sexist anything, because DV goes both ways. But we're talking about women here, okay? Like, even in this video, like I said, even in this video on the comments, there were people saying, well, what did she do before the video started? And there were likes. Like, hundreds of likes on these posts. So that means there's literally thousands of people out there that think that there's a justification. If you do something, then you can get thrown to the ground and kick the fuck out of you, a vase thrown at your head and shit. But like I said, during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, that needs to be the face of that campaign needs to be a man. Like, you know how when you watch a movie and you're like, okay, the movie's trying to tell us a message right now. Why is there no messaging in movies about men saying, bro, like correcting another dude's behavior? Nah, dude, you can't just abandon your kids like that. Like, that's fucked up. I'm not fucking with you no more. It's part of a whole system. That's why I'm like all over the place. There's just so many thoughts. There are so many thoughts. But I was just like, TD Jakes, like, what the fuck? Like, why did it take this? Your friend on camera with the videos. You heard rumors about him for years. But it took this video coming out for you to denounce it and say, hey, dude, you need to get some help. Why are not more men with a platform doing that? Saying you need to get help. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Go work on your issues. And like I said, the Bumble thing is tied into this. I can't tell you how many bios that I've read that have violent posturing in them. Like, who do you bitches think you are? Like, a lot. Some guy I saw complaining, like, why don't y'all don't, on Bumble, y'all don't let us post pictures with guns anymore. Okay, you can't see why that would make a woman uncomfortable. I've seen guys post pictures with a gun pointed right at the camera. That's supposed to be attractive to me? That's supposed to make me feel safe? That's supposed to make me feel lusty? I understand. It's all coming to a head right now. It's all coming to a head. Election is coming, so it's about to get nasty on some other shit. It's about to be in some next level shit coming down the pipeline the next couple months. These people, we got to get these celebrities that have gotten too big for their britches, that are ungrateful. They think that they're better than us. That's why they do stuff like lawless shit like that and do whatever they want. Like I said, running amok across the earth while the rest of us are trapped in slavery. We got to kill that. So I want to see his followers going down. Please. Unfollow. Block. The best thing would be for him, leave social media and go away quietly. Men need to start correcting other men. You need to start correcting your bros. I know, like I said, Twitter is a cesspool, right? But I like to read comments because it'll have a lot of people in agreement. On Twitter, it says how many people viewed it, how many people liked it, how many people retweeted and comment. So you really get a gauge of how people really think. Because a lot of people are anonymous, so they will give their true, unfettered opinion. Guys, we can only do so much. Men have to fix this problem. Men have to fix this problem. Women, we can only do so much. You know, I'm in a fucking parking lot. I'm looking around. Keep aware of my surroundings. Looking around. You can only, my doors are locked. I can only but do so much. It has to be ingrained in the culture to keep your fucking hands to yourself. Like I said, Diddy, he beat men and women. But there needs to be like, y'all need to talk about that more. Like I just feel like there's no like bro account, like man to man. Like it's always like man to man. Let's let each other get away with fuckery. Never like man to man. Like I want to help you be a better person. Again, it's not about perfection. But this is getting out of hand now. Diddy hates women. And he hates himself too. He hates himself. All those guys are some of the most chronically insecure, depths of hell insecure people you will ever meet in your life. Narcissists are like that. They have the worst insecurities in the world. Yeah, I know I've kind of all over the place, but I don't know. Hopefully y'all took something from that though. The main thing I think is we got to start asking the right questions. Why was he able to get away with this so long? Why are the other people able to get away with this so long? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of my thoughts, what you agree with, what you don't. And I'll catch up with you guys in the next one.